This is Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith, welcoming one and all to 2K Sports. This is a preseason edition of the NBA on 2K. Tonight, we'll be watching the Houston Rockets playing against the San Antonio Spurs. Checking out the Spurs, they'll be happy to get this game behind them and get the regular season started because it hasn't been the best preseason for them. Can we talk about Kawhi Leonard, guys?
Sure.
He's become one of only very few players ever to win a Defensive Player of the Year and a Finals MVP. And he just keeps on getting better, Kenny.
His ability to guard multiple positions. His length can bar the point guards. His strength and size can bar the power forwards. I mean, this guy does it all. He can ball hawk, and he's patient. You know, as the San Antonio Spurs are as a team, very patient and very diligent.
And he's the best perimeter defender in the league since Ron Artest.
Thanks for joining us. We're going courtside to Kevin Harlan.
Shooting guard position at 6'6", number 14, Daniel Green. A 6'2" guard from France, number 9, Tony Parker. A 6'11" forward from Wake Forest, number 21, Tim Duncan. A 6'7" forward from San Diego State, number 2, Kawhi Leonard. A 6'11" forward from Texas, number 12, Your head coach is Greg Popovich. Once again, your San Antonio Spurs.
Welcome back to our NBA preseason coverage here on 2K Sports. Today's the last day of the preseason. Opening day not too far away. Along with Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. It's Houston taking on the San Antonio Spurs. You look at Houston. Here they are in the preseason action. The young players chomping at the bit for some more increased minutes before the vets take over in the regular season.
We're right on the cusp of the games counting for real, and the players are anxious to get that part of the season going. The regular season I'm talking about.
Yeah, and two schools of thought here. I mean, some coaches want to really compete in this game and get their teams mentally geared up. Others want to dial it down and give their top guys a little rest. We'll see which they choose.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. And so in the game for the Rockets, Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Modiunas and Howard the post pair. And it's Lawson in at the point guard position. Clock at 6. Here's Harden. The shot is off. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. Last game matchup with the Suns, a tough loss there.
Yeah, they just really struggled to put points on the board throughout that game. You could just see they were pressing just couldn't get anything to go on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and guys, once they got spiraling downward, there seemed to be no way to get out of it. All their offense went to pot.
And guys, you know, we've talked about it before, but it bears repeating. Dwight Howard may be the best overall rebounder in the last decade. 5 times out of the last 8 years, he's led the league in rebounding. That's almost impossible to do in the modern NBA.
Here's Lawson, following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. There's a screen by Motiejunas. And Harden wide open. He shoots. That one falls, coming off Lawson's feet.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
And LaMarcus Aldridge again.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
The Rockets have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Lawson kicks to Motiejunas. Screen by Howard. Motiejunas dishes to Howard. And the rebound goes to Duncan.
Yeah, but the hand in the face. It's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
And Green gets it to go.
How about 3 of 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
And so here is Houston, following the bucket by the Spurs. Harden kicks to Ariza. Screen by Howard. Ariza goes in and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
For Dwight Howard, guys, there were 2 or 3 seasons in Orlando and L.A. that seemed like one big soap opera. So now, to me, it seems like he's happy and settled, though, here in Houston.
And it seems, Greg, that, you know, as he was just talking moments ago about Howard finding his niche in Houston, it seems he's more comfortable. Certainly a great legacy of terrific big men for the Rockets. Clark, you know that firsthand. They've had some terrific names over the years.
How about Yao Ming, Kevin? Moses Malone, Elvin Hayes, Hakeem Olajuwon. No greater roster of big men than that one there.
And the second free throw, good. It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, and they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though. Although, had they won the last game, instead of being the 6th, they would have been the 2nd.
Right.
Didn't have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
Here is Lawson. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Lawson kicks to Howard. Oh, he misses the dunk.
You rarely see him missing dunks, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough.
Leonard, and it's good on the assist by Parker. Leonard's got his second bucket of the night.
And against the Clippers, the Spurs didn't have home court advantage. I mean, ended up playing a big part in that series. They ended up losing in Game 7 in Staples with some questionable timekeeping, but that's not what Just call him a speed merchant. I mean, he was a blur going in for that throwdown.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia. For San Antonio, they've gone 5 of 6 so far from the field to start out the game. And Parker, here we go. And it's blocked. And here we go. Harden heading.
Oh, wow.
That's a beautiful jam.
How's that for a quick possession?
Yeah, no hesitation at all taking that one to the basket. Beautifully done.
Parker outside. Now the pass to Leonard. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. That one is on Ariza. For a long time in San Antonio, it's been about the big 3, and rightfully so with all their wins, and Kawhi Leonard seems to be their future.
And Kawhi and the big 3 recognize that and are trying to ease the transition period. And if you know the Spurs, they'll make a smooth transition, won't they, Kevin?
Absolutely.
And, guys, for Kawhi Leonard and the Spurs, Coach Popovich already sees him as the next guy. He told Leonard not to think of the big 3, but to think of himself as the big 1.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. David West, he's checked in for Duncan. Diaw comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Manu Ginobili's checked in for Daniel Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker.
And guys, with what Popovich said about Leonard, small things like that can be the catalyst to get a player to reach greatness. Sooner or later, this will be Kawhi's team.
Here's Jones, and there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
And able to pad his stats a little bit there on that play, the board and the bucket.
And you know, Greg, that'll put him in the good graces of that coaching staff, too. My goodness.
Kevin and Greg, hard work on the offensive glass always does that. I mean, his fans will remember the dunk, but the coaches love the rebound.
Houston in the lead. Here's Harden on the wing. Now Beverly. Harden sets the pick for Beverly. A floater. It's deflected, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Dion. Here's Harden. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Harden's got 9.
And you could tell they had that play ready to go. Well done on the inbound.
It's West with the drive. Misses the layup.
Not too much congestion in the lane. I think he could have gotten a better shot that time, no question.
And Doris Burke caught up with Coach Greg Popovich. Doris?
Kevin, he said that even though this is still the preseason, it's important for them to get into that regular season mindset and ramp up the intensity that may have been lacking in their previous tune-ups. We need to treat this as a real game, he said, not just go through the motions like it happens so often in the preseason. Guys?
All right, Doris. Ginobili with the 3. Brewer grabs the board.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
Here's Mills. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. And Diaw kicks to Mills. It's good. The assist that time from Diaw.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Houston's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Harden against Ginobili. It's Harden with the draw. It's not possible what we just... Clark, is that possible?
Not probable, but it is possible, partner. It is possible.
And think about it, guys. That's one of the few guys in the entire league who can pull off something like that.
Diaw sets the pick for Leonard. A picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good. Leonard's got 8 points.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
Kicks to Harden. To the middle. Here's Capella, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
And both teams on fire from the opening tip.
Well, I don't doubt it, Greg. We're going to have an entertaining game of basketball here today. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that's the case.
Here's Diaw. No good. That would have tied it. And a high-scoring first quarter. Both teams really filling it up. Rockets lead by 3. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And earlier, we heard from Dwight Howard, and it's very clear how much he appreciates his head coach, Kevin McHale.
It's been great since day one. You know, it's been amazing. After games, he's always sending me messages before games, you know, just telling me, you know, what he did to make himself better. You know, so I've just been trying to do those things.
What a difference a change of location makes, especially when the guy that's helping you along the way really believes in you, wants to see you get better, is your head coach, especially a guy the stature of Kevin McHale, a Hall of Famer.
And Kevin, to get that kind of advice and that love and attention from one of the 50 greatest of all time, it's got to make you not only feel good, but give you the confidence that you finally now have found a place that you can call home.
Thanks for being with us as we get going here once again. A preview of the upcoming NBA season ahead. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Rockets.
You've got to like the consistency with which they're hitting that mid-range jumper.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
This is how the floor looks for the Rockets starting the second. Modiunas and Howard the post pair. Brewer is out there with Lawson, and it's Ariza in at the 3 slot.
In a season where everyone in the Southwest made it to the playoffs, you just knew it was going to be a war of attrition night in and night out. Still, the Rockets managed to come out on top in the division.
He lobs up the alley-oop pass. It's stolen by Duncan. 3-on-3. Got it, and the Houston lead's been cut down to 1 on the bucket from Parker. Parker's got 4 points now in the quarter. And for the Rockets, their shooting percentage, 59%. The offense is running smoothly. Lawson against Green. Again, the Rockets score.
Wow, you don't see him make plays like that very often. That's a nice move there for the basket.
Duncan with a screen on Lawson. Parker with it. Ginobili left side. The dish to Aldridge. Here's the 3. And that one's good. Aldridge has got it all tied up now for San Antonio.
Great opportunity right there. He's got such tremendous length. He can just rise up and get separation for the 3.
Lawson against Green. Fires from the line. And here we go. Parker heading to the hoop. And they take the lead. Parker's got the lead up to 2 now for San Antonio. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Spurs.
Boy, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
And it's good. Talk through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
And, of course, Tony Parker, so big for San Antonio in those championship runs. But word on the street was that Spurs coach Greg Popovich didn't always go easy on Tony. He really pushed him to the limit.
You know, it started back when Tony was invited to the Spurs summer camp before the 2001 draft. One of the scouts was really physical with Tony, really gave him a hard time, and that was really the start of his maturation process in learning to deal with the NBA.
Aldridge inside, working on Modiunas. Aldridge's shot is good.
He's just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
And Lawson with the drive. Up and in on the layup. Lawson's got 8 points.
And, you know, getting back to Popovich's relationship with Tony Parker, Pop made the decision to draft Parker. So he obviously saw something. But Pop's a perfectionist, and if you're going to play point guard for him, you've got to deliver consistently. When you can make adjustments to the shot in midair and midstream and still knock it down, you know you're flowing.
Takes it from 10. It's rebounded by Houston. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
And how about the game plan that was constructed for that one? I mean, it was apparent how powerless the D was to stop it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at him.
Ariza goes in. Inside. Here's Modiunas. Houston needs to get a shot off. Brewer's shot is off.
And talking about Tony Parker, Pop's tough love with him really paid off. Tony eventually became incredibly consistent, culminating with him being named the Finals MVP back in 2007. And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession. Block shots, a stat that sometimes doesn't tell the whole story. Big-time shot blockers aren't always elite defenders. And then the opposite is true. Their block shot totals don't quite capture that great impact they really have defensively.
You know, and Hakeem the Dream, certainly one of the greatest all-around players to have ever played the game. An endless array of offensive moves down low, no doubt. And defensively, his numbers speak for themselves. I mean, almost 4,000 career blocks, 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, just a legendary low-post defender.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. David West, he's checked in for Duncan. Diaw comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Kawhi Leonard is checked in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Mills in for Daniel Green. Parker passes to Mills. Back to Parker. 5 to shoot. Diaw sets the pick for Parker. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Parker's got 10 points in the quarter.
And guys, when you watch the Spurs play, it's like watching poetry in motion. I mean, every cut, every screen comes at a precise time, and they play beyond the sum of their talents because of that style.
That's tipped. Another shot, and the basket by Harden. Harden's got the game tied up here for the Rockets.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
I certainly do. You know, I like to see guys do their work inside. Their rebounding has been excellent, and that's always important in a close game.
Leonard, no luck. Spurs do have a beautiful play style, and their offensive numbers show it, Greg. You're right there. One of the most fluid teams I can recall, Clark, in the NBA with their ball movement.
A joy to watch. I mean, they ended up top 5 in shooting percentage last year, as well as top 5 in assists.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
West inside, defended by Jones. No good from West.
And good defense there to play up and get a hand in the face.
Well, he's got a tough mindset. He's confident as a defender. And when you combine those two things, it makes it real hard to score on him.
Harden outside. Clock at 6. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Just call him the beard. James Harden, not just iconic, but also entering the conversation for the best player in the NBA.
And speaking of Harden and being the best, he'd certainly tell you so. He referred to himself as the best all-around player in the league. What do you think?
And I think he's right in that category. A lot of people laughed him off when he said that, but he's been a legitimate MVP candidate. His defense has gotten better, and obviously his offensive game is off the charts.
Free throw good, James Harden. Well, guys, James Harden, quite possibly the most devastating rim attacker in the league today, just refuses to slow down. Wayne Clark, he's going right at the basket.
Yeah, he's got it all, Kevin. I mean, he's so thick and strong and has deceptive moves and explosiveness. When he gets inside, he's scoring or you're fouling.
And both free throws good for James Harden.
When you're defending Harden, it really is a pick-your-poison situation. I mean, we talked about his driving, but you can't gap him because he's also a very good shooter and passer. So that double team that you want to provide as well, he's real good at finding that open man.
Here's Beverly looking for his first basket still in this one. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Passes it to Jones. It's stolen by West. To the wing on the left. Ariza against Parker. The feed to West. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got 4 assists in the game. It's Harden with the drive, and that's going to do it. Some good defense down the stretch to end the quarter. Tie game in San Antonio. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sidelines. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Dwight, what's your assessment of the team you're playing here tonight?
They're a tough team. You know, they play hard, they play together, they move the ball, and they know how to play defend the offense, you know. And we've been doing a better job on the defensive end, and I think tonight we came out with the right mentality. We just got to keep it up.
Dwight, thank you. They know they've got their hands full, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter started.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We're going to break down the first half action for you. A stellar first half for Tony Parker. He had 12 points, 4 assists, and 1 rebound. He put last game's performance behind him, doing some nice work in the opening period tonight. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how San Antonio played?
Well, their defense was really inconsistent. They get a stop, then turn around and give up an easy bucket. That's why they allowed over 50% shooting. Their defense needs to be a lot more focused in the second half.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about the Rockets?
You have to love a team that pounds the offensive glass. That's going to gain you extra possessions. And check this out. Sometimes just having more offensive chances than your opponent wins the basketball game.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We're going to sit right here and wait for the end of the game and talk at you again.
And we're getting back to the action. It's the NBA preseason here on 2K Sports.
What a performance from Harden here. 15 points, and he's put 1 3-pointer on the board.
You know what, though, Clark? It wouldn't be a bad idea going forward to try to let him do a little more damage from beyond the arc.
Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Duncan out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Leonard in at the small forward. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs.
And they've worked the ball around so well tonight for those quality looks from mid-range.
Well, it's interesting. The defense continues to back off, expecting them to attack the rack, but they just continue to pull up and knock down those mid-range jumpers.
Harden against Green. Parker dishes to Aldridge, and that'll be San Antonio as it goes out of bounds. Spurs retain possession.
You know what? A low percentage pass on that one, but sometimes it's worth the risk.
Well, that time the risk did not pay off because it was well defended.
They get it back. Leonard uses the glass to finish the layup. Leonard's got 4 points this quarter.
The tenacity on the interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will for second chance points.
To the middle, here's Montejunas. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Like last season, we saw Montejunas make some nice strides.
Yeah, big uptick in his scoring efficiency, Kevin. Both his shooting from beyond the arc and from within the arc increased.
It's his first trip to the line.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
He's off on the first.
And Montejunas actually showing a newfound post repertoire there. I mean, he's deceptive. He has hooks and pump fakes, little up and unders. The Rockets looked to him for offense when they weren't playing through Harden.
And he's good on the second.
And Montejunis is a very confident player. I think where he can still improve is his rebounding and defensive impact. With a 7-foot frame, he's got to learn to play like a 7-footer.
Rockets trail by 3. Lawson kicks to Ariza. Lawson outside. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Six to shoot. That one wide left. Spurs leading by 3. Parker passes to Leonard. Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. Over in the corner, Green. All sorts of time. Montejunis grabs the miss. Montejunis has got his 3rd rebound tonight. Dishes it to Harden. Houston moving it around. Tipped away. Leonard with the steal. 4-on-3 break. Green dishes to Parker. Aldridge wide open. He fires. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got 6 assists here tonight. Rockets trail by 6.
And the Rockets were a tough team last year, but at times it really felt like a one-man show. Harden carried them so much for so long. You just have to wonder if it wore him out.
Back to Howard. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
That was some slick passing from Harden on that one.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. And if carrying the team during the regular season or Harden down, Greg, you're talking about, it didn't show that much in the playoffs. Harden was phenomenal most, if not part, all of the postseason.
I would agree with you, but there also were some other guys for Houston that did step up in the postseason. Howard looked as good as he did before all of his injuries, as a case in point.
Courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here's a peek at the league's top scorers from a season ago. James Harden is second.
And looking back, his points per game really underscored the fact that he never took a game off. I mean, one special performance after another all season long.
Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for Leonard. Brewer is checked in for Houston. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Aldridge a screen. Parker kicks to Ginobili. Back to Parker. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. Parker's got the lead up to 6 now for the Spurs.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
Harden can't hit. San Antonio's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Ginobili the pass to Parker. Aldridge a screen. Lets the 3 fly. Rebounded by Howard.
And so last season for Tony Parker, somewhat of a shift. I mean, he was solid, but injuries cost him a few games. He also had his lowest assists and points per game totals since his rookie year. But he fought through like the champion that he is.
Duncan outside. Outside, Green. Parker against Lawson. It's Parker with the drive. 8 for 15 with that made basket. But he's not satisfied yet.
How about the hands on display there around the basket? I mean, he does not let those opportunities slip away, and that allows the lead to grow.
Here's Harden. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. West is checked in for Duncan. Diao comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. The Rockets were terrific on the road last season, Clark. Tied for second with the Clippers for the most road wins in the league.
26-15, although if you want to get picky about it, they had one of those wins in Mexico City, so maybe 25.5 road wins for them.
Green, no luck.
And that's the shot he has to take.
Exactly, that's the right look. The decision was good, he just didn't execute.
From deep, Harden. Basket number 8 for him on 13 tries. That's 62% so far.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
And I do remember that Mexico City game last year for the Rockets. A huge turnout for them. It felt like they were the crowd favorites. Still, you can't take anything away from their road performances last season.
And a closer look here at the hustle stats for Houston.
Boy, they're hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end. Very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
And Beverly kicks to Harden. And he uses the glass on the layup. Harden's got 25 points in the game.
And, you know, you think about the Rockets, as you mentioned. I mean, one reason they were so good on the road is their offense didn't miss a beat when they left Houston. When you can get to the line as much as they did, you remain consistent on the road.
And the basket by Diao.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg. And when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. And this is the first they've seen of this San Antonio Spurs team here in the preseason.
Yeah, and no doubt this is a team that gave them a lot of trouble last season.
Yeah, they dropped the season series, but this is a preseason game. Rather meaningless in the big picture, but still perhaps a chance to measure themselves up against this opponent.
Jones dishes to Harden. They get it back. Capella with the bucket. Capella's got 6.
That's what they're hanging their hat on today, fellas. Hard-nosed, smash-mouth play down on the low block.
Old-fashioned, isn't it, my man? Old-fashioned. Pound the rock basketball, and it is definitely working for them.
And Green gets it to go.
You know, his pace makes him really hard to keep track of, guys. I mean, if you lose him, he'll explode to the rim on you.
Harden sets the pick for Beverly. Harden kicks to Jones. West with some nice D. A chance at a 2-for-1 if they want it.
If I'm them, I try it.
Ginobili the pass to Mills. He kicks it to Diao. Here's the screen. Ginobili outside. Clock at 4. The shot's good on the assist by West. And now a 3-point Spurs lead.
And when he's got that much of a height advantage on the perimeter, it's really tough on the defender. Easy three-pointer.
Jones sets the pick for Beverly. And here's Harden for 3. And another 3 for Houston.
Right now, the defense needs to do a better job of closing out on this guy. He's heating up from outside.
Now here's Mills. Diao, the screen. From outside the arc. Misses. That's the end of the third, and it's all tied up. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. Preseason action continues here on 2K Sports.
On your face for no good reason at all. We in a bad place. Hip hop is separated by the nice and the nice not. Underground.
Houston's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. So on the floor for Houston. Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Modiunas and Howard the post pair. And it's Lawson in at the 1. Here's Harden, and it's good off the back rim and in. Harden's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for Houston. Lawson's against Parker. It's Aldridge penetrating. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got his 7th assist in the game. And it's the Rockets with the ball. They'll host the Denver Nuggets after this one. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. That's good.
That's a brain freeze right there from the entire defense. Now is not the time to lose your focus.
To the right side. Mills dishes to Aldridge. And another basket for San Antonio.
Big time bucket there, and you can expect to see him stay very involved the rest of the way.
Pass to Motiejunas, and stolen by Aldridge. Parker left side. Rebounded by Howard. Howard's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Harden kicks to Lawson. Back to Harden. Ring shot on the way. And the shot no good, a bit short.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Down low. Parker, a screen on Ariza. And here's Mills. Here's Duncan. Busts the J after the cagey pass fake.
Boy, this game has really started to heat up. I didn't think it could get any more high scoring than it already was.
Well, I tell you what, I don't mind it. You don't either, it sounds like. Good offense is entertaining, and that's exactly what we're getting.
Wow, risky shot there size-wise, but the incredible skill that he possesses allows that one to go.
Well, the quick high release negated any height disadvantage he had right there.
San Antonio calls timeout.
And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
Has some information for us, Doris.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich coaching his team during that last break. He told his team to keep looking for three-point opportunities, saying their perimeter defense isn't doing a good job getting out on our shooters. So let's keep firing away until they decide to guard us.
Thank you, Doris. Now Aldridge. Green, the screen. Aldridge kicks to Leonard. Clock at 6. Fires the 3. And Aldridge the basket on the assist from Green. And that's 19 points for Aldridge. Rockets trail by 3. Screen by Howard. And he lobs it up. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Green. Feeds to Aldridge. Again, the Spurs good for 2. And a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Spurs.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
Yeah, I think you also have to give them a lot of credit for how well they've risen up to meet shooters to challenge shots in this game. A lot of blocked shots tonight.
And here's Leonard from 3. Can't hit. And it's Houston the other way. Lawson outside. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Timeout called, the Rockets. Well, guys, before last season, Trevor Ariza signing a 4-year, $32 million deal with the Rockets. Big free agent get for the team.
And, you know, they wanted to re-sign Chandler Parsons, Kevin, but with his departure, in comes Ariza, and Trevor is a quality replacement. I mean, a terrific wing defender, and he's a nice spot-up shooter as well.
And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth.
And, you know, you compare their games. Ariza a bit more limited maybe offensively than Parsons, a few years older, but he's also a better defender and also better at playing without the basketball. And remember, you got 5 guys out there, only 1 ball. Sometimes your chemistry can improve when a guy doesn't need the basketball to be effective.
Leonard kicks to Green. His 3-pointers off the mark.
Got a good look, though. I thought that was going to go down.
Yeah, the D, though, just enough to bother the rhythm on that one, Clark.
And stolen by Aldridge. Parker outside. Aldridge kicks to Leonard. Aldridge with a screen on Motiejunas. Back to Aldridge. It's stolen by Ariza. And they're on the break. Trips down the breakaway slam.
We could have been looking at a 2-possession game, but that was a huge mistake on the turnover. Now nerves and tightness become a factor.
And it's becoming a battle of will right now. This is as good a game as we could have hoped for.
Outside Leonard. Duncan with a screen on Ariza. Shot clock at 5. Baseline jumper. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
And, you know, for the Rockets, a nice pairing with James Harden and Trevor Ariza. Ariza, a spot-up shooter and defender, while Harden arguably the premier offensive creator in the league. I mean, they really complement each other well.
Boston against Parker to take the lead. And the rebound goes to Duncan.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Parker kicks to Aldridge. Shot to end this cold run and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Well, how about LaMarcus Aldridge in this one? He's got 21 points and also 3 nice steals.
And we're seeing him at his very best today. Just really a joy to watch.
Well, I know I'm thoroughly enjoying it because he's amazing when he's on top of his game like this.
And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaker. And the second of 2 is good. That will put them up by 2.
Well, I mean, a semi-productive trip to the free throw line, but we'll see whether or not it costs them.
Timeout called the Rockets. They're trailing by 2. 1:22 left in the fourth quarter of this one. 1:22 left in the fourth. Howard with a screen on Green. It's stolen by Duncan. In transition, here comes San Antonio. And he hits it and gets hacked down the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
Yeah, beautiful play on the interior. They're just using the height advantage to lay the ball up and in when they really needed that basket.
Leonard has been playing really well. He has 14 points, and he's added a steal to his stat line also.
You know what? The number is not huge, but he has been doing some valuable defensive work for them.
That free throw there caps off a huge possession for him. Those are big points at this stage of the game.
Now a timeout called by Houston. They're behind by 5. 1:11 left here in the fourth quarter. It's stolen by Duncan. Outside Leonard. Parker kicks to Aldridge. 7-foot shot. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Now it's a 7-point San Antonio lead. Pass to Howard. Good! Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
Heads-up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Duncan, a screen. Down low, it's tipped, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Mona Yunus.
Spurs ball.
.41 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And then Leonard with the top.
Just no let up, guys. They just keep coming at you.
Well, this lead is too big to overcome. I'm going out on the limb right now. There's just not enough time left on the clock to make up the ground they have to make up.
I mean, he is tearing the defense apart, and let's face it, they have not brought their A game on that side of the ball.
At the line for your Spurs, Kawhi Leonard. At the line for 2.
And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. And the second of 2 is good. That increases their lead to 6. Now a timeout called by Houston. They're losing by 6. 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It's Harden with the drive. Tries from 10. Cannot hit. Great D that time from Duncan. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
At the line for for your Spurs, Tony Parker. 2 shots.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
He drops the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he gets them both, and it's an 8-point game. 20 seconds left to play here in the fourth on the wing Brewer. 3-pointer. Rebounded by the Spurs. Parker outside. And so it's San Antonio with the win. Some good moments throughout this one, but they have the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, and I thought good execution really played a big part throughout.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, Tim, even though we're still early on in the year for the San Antonio Spurs team, with the expectations of another strong postseason run ahead of you, is this season's campaign and getting a top seed going into the playoffs as important as it's ever been?
Oh, it's huge for us. It's huge for us. We want it badly, and we're going to continue to play as hard as we can and take every game as seriously as we can, and hopefully we can end up with it.
Tim, we appreciate your time, guys. Always a pro's pro.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. Another NBA preseason game is in the books. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And now time to send it over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson for the postgame show.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hi again, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time now to present our Jordan Player of the Game, LaMarcus Aldridge. He had an outstanding fourth quarter where he really shined, pouring it on heavy down the stretch.
When LaMarcus Aldridge gets rolling, it's always going to be a tough night for the opposing team. He is about as complete as you can get on the low block. And there are very few power forwards in the NBA that can run the floor as well as he does. He's a franchise player, plain and simple, and they just couldn't come up with an answer for him tonight.
His accuracy from the field was pretty eye-catching. I mean, if he was shooting the ball, it was going in. You rarely see a performance like this with this crazy high shooting percentage. Wow.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.